in the reality shows when they do like the interview stuff? This is literally what it looks like. Like, you know, and they're like, I was mad, but I wasn't that mad, you know? If you are ready to start taking clients, if you are ready to start booking your clients, but you just don't know where to start, this is the video for you. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel and I am the co-founder of Flourish Lashes. So if you guys are ready to start taking clients, you're having some trouble when it comes to actually booking clients, I have a couple tips I want to go through just so you're aware, some things to keep in mind, some things to kind of work through. So let's jump into a couple tips on booking your first clients. Sis, these are some things that I wish I knew when I started lashing. I have been through my fair share of booking ordeals, and let me tell you, like, some of them, you just don't know if you're like putting yourself in a bad situation or not. Did you guys see my big ass jug of water? That's it. It's 1 o'clock, but it's not 1 o'clock. What time is it? I'm an hour behind schedule. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna get into here is booking fees versus deposits. Okay, so when it comes to a booking fee or a quote unquote deposit, there is a little bit of friction when it comes to these two. A lot of people, you know, even myself, when we start, you always refer to it as a deposit. So this isn't necessarily like whether or not you want to take a deposit, but this is just something to know. Generally speaking, and to be honest, a deposit by definition is meant to go back to the customer. A set of money that you put down to hold a certain position, and then it is therefore by definition to be given back to the customer or the client at a certain time. And that's the expectation. And if you do get technical, this can get a little bit messy. So I put it out there as of right now to stop referring to it as a deposit, because I know we spoke to some people in the UK. If you guys know, we have someone who works for us, Danny, and she's in the UK, and she actually informed me that in the UK, this gets super, super sticky, and people have gone through legal situations with the whole deposit situation. And I mean, why do that for like 20 bucks, right? But if we're gonna be technically right, I think that we should refer to it as a booking fee, because let's be real, we are not giving the client back the booking fee. We are literally taking it as a placeholder so that we know that that girl is showing up to her appointment. Okay, now when it comes to actually taking deposits or taking a booking fee, stop it, Ariel, don't say deposit. My advice wholly and solely is get yourself a booking fee so that way you know that you won't have no-shows, and if you do, you have something to comfort you when that client does not show up. Yes, 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 if you are trying to decide whether or not to take a booking fee, I always suggest yes. And reason being, not only because it secures a situation where your client is less likely to cancel, but also, especially when you're booking through like Instagram and stuff, it kind of takes away a little bit of the shadiness. Like, I've had certain instances where I wasn't charging a booking fee and I would have to ask for one just because I felt like the person was quite shady, and I still up to today feel like this person was coming to stalk me or something, because they were super, super sketch on Instagram. The way that they were responding were super, super sketch. I even asked Josh and he thought it was super sketch, and we literally were like, you know what, let's just charge this person a booking fee. And I think even when I asked for the fee, they were kind of like, yeah, no problem, I'll send it over, and then they never did. And I was kind of like, I think I just dodged a bullet. You know, so yes, get yourself a booking fee policy situation in place so that way you know you secure yourself, you secure your clients, and you have less no-shows, less cancellations, and you know, you're safer. Okay, next point is how to properly time your slots when you're booking your clients. So I've had this question come up a few times, and honestly, it's totally up to your situation, but the way that you want to go about it, and this is what I do too, look at your average time first. Is it an hour? Is it an hour and a half? That is super short. What am I saying? Is it 2 to 4 hours? Whatever the case is, give yourself the exact time and then add at least half an hour onto it. That way you know that if you come across a client that does take you a little bit longer, or a client that's maybe a little bit late, or if you just need a little bit of a break in between, you have that kind of buffer time. It is so crucial and so important for your mental sanity. You need to make sure that you have a buffer time, even if it's just for you to stand up, walk around, and sit back down. 15 minutes never hurt, and to be honest, it will help your eyesight, it'll help your back, and it'll just help you in general. Okay, so now you are super ready to go and book your clients in, and now you're kind of just like, where do I book these people in? So there's a couple things you can do. You can either book based off of your Instagram account and have people DM you, which is really and truly the most popular way, especially if you're just starting out. It's how I did it. It totally helps, but I do always recommend a booking fee with that. Or you can always do a booking app, which is amazing. Using a booking app really does help. And it also, personally, I have a peace of mind when I do a booking app because they don't necessarily pay the deposit right away if they don't need to, depending on how your kind of booking app is set up. But you do have to enter all your information in before you can actually book. And then what I do is I don't actually put my address in until the person books, and I have like a little bit of time to kind of go over it, make sure it's all good, nothing's kind of missing, and then I'll go ahead and give the address. Now, I will say that giving away your address is super, super important in terms of how you do it, especially if you're lashing from home. I was lashing from home for so long, and I would not give my address to absolutely anybody until the day before, or if they requested it because they had some sort of, you know, travel situation. And then of course I would ask for a booking fee because that would just make me feel a little bit better when I was giving people my home address. If you do feel a little bit sketch about anything, see if you have someone that can kind of stay home with you if you're doing it from home. I used to ask Josh to sit in my living room while I was lashing downstairs just to make sure it was all good. And then when the client would come in, I'd give him a little text like, hey, you're good to go, you can leave, and then he'd be out. But it was just like a peace of mind to make sure that, you know, nothing was gonna happen. You have strangers coming into your home, you know? I know a lot of the times when you actually start at the beginning and you don't wanna go into an app, what happens is people are like, oh, well, I don't want people to see how little clients I have or all the space in terms of timing, but it's okay. Honestly, like it makes no difference. Clients actually love the fact if they see a lot of spaces, that means they can book, and it doesn't make you look any less of a lash artist or any less busy. It's actually a more of a professional outlook, and people do love having an outlet where they can literally just go right in and book. They don't have to contact you. It's so easy, so simple, and you have less DMs coming into you, less questions, everything's right there. Okay, and my final point and my final set of advice here is to make sure that you put your policies in place. Policies are super, super, super important, and I learned the hard way. I had no policies when I started because no one told me I needed policies, nor did I expect the things that I would encounter. So this is something that is, of course, personal to you, especially if you're lashing from your own home or your own space. It is whatever you're comfortable with. But for instance, for me, I realized over time that having people come with my client was just a no-go for me. It made me super uncomfortable. It made me feel rushed. I hated it. I just felt like, oh my God, someone is staring at me while I'm trying to do lashes. And realistically, if your client's there and you're taking a long time, they'll probably fall asleep, so it's less of a burden. But when you have someone sitting there super frustrated, that was where I knew I had to put certain policies in place. And that's when I had to make sure I had the rule of no guests, because it was definitely a disaster for me. But a lot of the times policies come as you experience certain things or you go through certain things. So try your best to kind of look through other people's policies. It doesn't have to be in the lashing industry if you can't find anybody. Try different industries. Everybody has their own set of policies, especially people who work from home. Put them where people can see them. Make sure that they're on your Instagram account. Make sure that they're on your booking app. Wherever your client is actually going to book, just be sure that those policies are in place for them to see before they actually book, and make sure that everyone is on the same page. Okay guys, before I end this video off, I do want to mention that I do have a virtual masterclass coming up in February. There's only a few more days available to actually book and put your deposit down, and I really want you guys to be involved. And if you are a certified lash artist out there that just doesn't feel like they're confident, doesn't feel like they got enough information out of their training, this is for you. It is the perfect refresher course to get you right on track. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and email us at info@flourishlashs.com, and we'll get back to you right away with all the information on this masterclass. Okay guys, that is it for this video. I hope that it was helpful. I hope that this actually made a difference. I know how hard it can be when you're starting out, and there's so many little things you have to put in place. So I really like to get these type of videos out there just so you're aware and just so you have these things in mind when you're booking your clients. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll be back with something new next time. Bye.